together. We're watching classic movies. We're cooking a lot. We're having good conversations. We're playing some ping pong. We're making the best of the time.
That's good. They're probably beating you, but that's okay.
Oh, you had to say that, which is really true. My son crushes me.
They're very competitive, these kids. Yeah, we're with these young adults now. It's different, but we're home cooking and getting healthier, I feel like, and breathing in the fresh air when we can go outside, and there's not a lot of traffic, which is good. So there's blessings to come out of this.
True, and a lot of Zoom yoga.
Zoom yoga, yes. I know yoga was a big part of your guys' life and still is for you.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, I've been doing a ton of yoga in quarantine. It feels really good.
And so public speaker, the TED thing, that was huge. Were you pinching yourself thinking like, I'm on TED Talk? Like, that's big.
Oh, it's massive. And, it was, in some ways, I went into it a little ignorant because I didn't do much public speaking before that. And so my first platform, going on that iconic red circle, became pretty intimidating. And I would practice and get super emotional. It's a very, very personal talk. And I was still quite raw. It was April of 2018. So we're talking, a little over a year after Amy died. But, what happened to me is, I think, kind of common with certain people. And that is that I got on that stage and I stepped in that circle and I felt this tremendous sense of calm. I had put in the work. I was ready. And there I was. And then 14 minutes went by in a heartbeat. And it was a really incredible.
Yeah, TED Talk is like one of my favorite things. I think it's everyone he puts up there is so powerful, and yours including. But I guess it's helping you heal all these talks and these things. You were a very private person before this, and now pretty much a very public person in a sense. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's so very different, really. I mean, like you said, if you were to Google Jason B Rosenthal before Amy died, you would find literally probably nothing. Maybe my office address downtown. That has certainly changed quite a bit. I'm not like experiencing quote unquote fame. I'm just being public with my personal life, and so it feels a little uncomfortable sometimes, but like we've talked about, I want to share my story so that I can help other people that are potentially going through a very, very difficult loss of any kind. And as it turns out, people are also looking to me to learn a little bit about relationships and marriage and things like that, and that's fine. I welcome it.
Yes, you've helped so many people. He is the subject of a modern-day love essay written by his wife, Amy Krouse Rosenthal, telling the world she would soon die and that her beloved husband deserved a shot at happiness. I mean, I feel like I knew Amy because just the fact that this heart that she had to do this for you. And in turn, he wrote back a book, which everyone should read. My wife said, "You should marry me." It's just such a powerful book, so filled with so many things, and it's a gift for you, and it's a gift for us because we should all fill those blank spaces. And so, Jason, I was looking at this. I saw this all over the place, Duck Rabbit, and it was Amy's book that she wrote, and here it is. It was and Oprah had sent it to Meghan Markle, and that was what she posted for Archie's first birthday. I got all choked up for that too. That must have meant so much to you.
Oh, yeah. It was really, really special. Jennifer Garner and Amy Adams did this program called Save the Stories. And like you said, Meghan Markle was reading Duck Rabbit to Archie, and Prince Harry was filming it and kind of laughing in the background. And, on the one hand, I thought, oh, my God, here's literally one of the most famous human beings on the planet reading Amy's book. But on the other hand, I think any of us who've been a parent sort of recognize that moment as a parenting moment. There was this little kid squirming on his mom's lap.
Yeah.
And it was very relatable. It was a beautiful moment, though, and a great tribute to Amy and Tom.
Yeah, and what you're doing too, such a great tribute to her and your guys' life and your love story, and gives everybody so much hope and meaning and healing. And I'm sure this is all healing for you. So in Amy's letter, she left a blank space for you to start to fill. How has that been? Have you filled it?
Oh, no. My blank page is still filled in, sure. It is something I think about almost every day, and whether that's through a meditation practice, trying to, really contemplate bigger things in life, or doing something more meaningful with my work life, or, starting a relationship, all of those things. I'm trying to live my life in a much, much different way, appreciating the finite nature of what we have, the time that we have. No one knows how long that's going to be.
Right.
And I know it's a little cliche, but it's really, really true. And I think one of the messages in my book, like you pointed out a couple of times, is that we really do need to take those moments and do something meaningful with them, because we don't know what's happening here day to day. And we don't want to sort of wake up at the end of a 30-year career of putting our nose down to the grindstone, not being so happy, without having at least a little reflection on what gives us meaning.
I thought that I'd ask you this question, and I probably know the answer, I think. So the person that you were before this happened, the person that you are now, I feel like is almost the same person. I feel like this is the person that you've always been. You're just public now because sharing your grief and your memories in this collection, this beautiful book that you wrote. Are you that same person? Has it changed you?
It's a good question. No, I don't think it's changed me at all. I think if there was a change, when you're part of a partnership for so long, and then you're just a single person, you either find your voice or you don't, and I think that I have really found a way to discover my voice. And that has been through this really, really meaningful work that I've been engaged in. And we're writing this book.
It was something, all right, that book. Your book. I cried through it. I read some of the pages. I read it over and over again. I just wanted to make sure it was like sinking in. It was a very fast read, for sure. But there were parts that I was stuck on. A lot of parts I was just stuck on because I was kind of feeling your pain and your grief with you, and your journey with you. It was just so beautifully written. Everyone should read the book. My wife said, "You May Want to Marry Me" by Jason Rosenthal. I found you, like I was searching for you after I saw that you wrote this book. I go, I have to interview this man, and talk about this love story and this beautiful life and how the life still lives on.
Well, thank you so much for that. And I'm really glad that we connected. It's been great.
What do you want to say to the people that are listening, and the people who have, lost, like you said, a loss is a loss is a loss. However that loss is, what do you want to say to them?
Well, I want to say, continue to talk about it, because, you would be surprised that the person sitting next to you also has a shared story of loss. And it's difficult to start. It's difficult to begin to speak about it. But I think you'll find that once you do, that having that conversation with someone takes that relationship to an even deeper level. And that's really, really important. And I don't know, if you're talking about someone who's gone through a recent loss, I would say, hang in there. There's no timetable for this stuff. And at the beginning, it's going to feel like there is no light There's nothing that you can see in front of you. But I'll promise you that with time, you will find life, and you will find joy, and you will find happiness. And accept it. Accept those patterns of anxiety and joy that are going to flow through your life. But time is a really unique thing, and it will help you.
I'll bet she's smiling down on you. And she probably planned this whole thing with her gift and permission for you to go on. And she certainly is and was a very special person. And both of you together, and what you've done with your grief and your pain and your loss is something to really amazing, and helping so many people. Who would have thought, right?
Who would have thought? Yes.
Your beautiful book. My wife
you
said, "You may want to marry me." Everybody has to read this book. I thank you for this and for talking to me and for being here today. And I'll continue to follow you.
No, I really appreciate that. It's been really nice to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you.
Continue to stay safe.
Thanks for listening to my podcast. You can check out my new website at whatsupwithwendy.com, subscribe, and check out past interviews. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at What's Up with Wendy. Thanks for tuning in.